5-MeO-DMT, some people like it. It's a feeling, is what it's been for me. It's this huge feeling that kind of sweeps through you, and it's velvety, and it's hard to describe, actually, but the main thing that I'm noticing when it's happening is I am not hallucinating. And of course, the main thing that's happening with DMT is you're having hallucinations so intense, so three-dimensional, so highly colored, so sculpturally defined that it's more real than reality. And by that I mean, if you look at this room, notice how all edges are slightly feathered. There is, at all boundaries, a slight indeterminacy. But on DMT, it's hard-edged. Everything is just defined. Sometimes people say it's as though all the air had been pumped out of the room. You're seeing it with that lunar starkness and clarity, you know. And unimaginable objects off the art scale, and entities. DMT is the only one of these psychedelics where I have seen the entities. On psilocybin it speaks and it's audio. On DMT it's you see these things, and I don't know whether it's my personal mythology. For me, DMT is the center of the mystery. I mean, I fear it, I love it, I thank God for it. I wonder if I'll ever understand it. It takes a huge mustering of courage on my part to do it, because it just is so, I mean, we talk, change, transformation, other dimension. This is not talk when you do that. I mean, you just do not know the parameters. I feel like I know more about what could happen to me if I'm in the Amazon jungle than I know what could happen to me when I'm in that place. And after many, many DMT trips, I've finally been able to paint a picture for myself of what is happening in there. And what happens for me, and I don't know anybody who's done it as much as I have. I wish people did it more and talked more about it, because boy, if there is a landscape where we need some consensus, this is it. I have been present when people did it, and they come back babbling about the same thing that I think I have encountered. I mean, they come back, and one woman said it was a carnival. It was a carnival it was an extraterrestrial midway. And somebody else came back and said there were gnomes, there were elves, and yeah, this is getting close to it. I mean, what happens to me when I do it is there's a period, an initial period of kind of hysteria and confusion. It's almost as though time speeds up, even before you take the first hit. Many people say, just before you do DMT, there's this funny kind of impression in the room, almost as though there is backwash from the event about to happen. You're caught in the psychic field of this event, and everything is moving faster and faster. This is like the Q phenomenon. And then you take the hit, and it's building up in your body, and your heart is pounding and everything, and then you break through to this place, and what it's like is the first impression is of the first impression is of the sound of cellophane being crumpled. That crackling sound, as if someone had just taken a bread wrapper. Yeah. Crackle that cellophane for us. That's it. More of that.
Are you there yet?
Would that it were so easy. A friend of mine says that's the sound of the radio intellecti of your soul tearing out of the organic envelope. Which is what it sounds like. It sounds like your body has just been wadded up and thrown into a corner, and now you're a radio signal, approximately 4 light seconds in diameter, spreading out through an alien universe. And the next impression is of a cheer. It's hurrah, welcome, welcome. And it's them, and they're waiting, and they can hardly wait. I mean, there's a moment when they're not on me, just a moment, and then they say, "You're here, we're glad to see you, why did you stay away so long?" And then they come toward me, and the main thing for me in the DMT thing is to struggle not to go into shock of wonder, basically. I mean, because there is a tendency, a strong tendency, and for the first few trips I couldn't conquer it. I was a victim of it. I mean, I just go into this. And I would say, heart, okay, breathing, okay, but I'm looking and I can't believe my eyes because I'm in some kind of domed place. And the impression, don't ask me why, but the impression is of being underground, even though it's a huge vaulted space and highly colored. But what is, of course, riveting my attention are these beings. And they're small, and they're like, I've described them as machine elves. They seem partially machine-like and partially elf-like. Yeah, no, they are not so mundane as that. They don't have a fixed body outline. And in fact, that's one of the things that's going on in this space that's so baffling. They come toward you, they're singing in this alien language which you somehow understand. It cannot be translated into English, but you understand it in that moment. And what they're doing is they are using their voices to produce objects. And so song becomes thing. And there are dozens of these things, and they're coming closer and closer, and the songs they sing condense into objects, and the objects themselves can sing. And these things come and they're saying, look, and they're holding this stuff out to you, and you look at it and you're fighting wonder because your entire being is caught up in this can't be happening. And yet they're saying, just look. And what these things are devices, toys, works of art, objects. But whatever they are amazing. And you look into it and you can't, and they seem to be shifting, even though they're made of metal and glass and gems and pulsing. Everything is migrating and shifting and changing. And they say, look at this one. It's the most astonishing thing you've ever seen. And you just look at it and they say, look at this one. Look at this one. And they're piling up. And these things are coming towards you, and then they jump through you. They can pass through your body. And they're running around chirping and singing and making these objects. And what they're doing is they are saying, do what we are doing. Do what we are doing. You say, I just want to go back to New York.